it's Lee from coloringqueen.net, and this is a remake of a video I uploaded the other day of my colouring books and supplies. Unfortunately, that video froze at the 26-minute mark and I was unable to fix it on YouTube's side. So as I got some more stuff in the mail since I filmed that, I redid the video, but unfortunately my camera failed. So I got up this morning, redid it again, and my audio didn't work. So now for the fourth time, I think, having another crack at it. So there's more stuff to show you on this video. Now, it is very hot in Sydney at the moment, so there is a fan on low in the background that you might hear. And usually I have the windows closed when I film, but as I said, it is extremely hot today. So the windows are open, and here's some video footage of the birds in my tree outside my window. And you might hear them and some of their friends throughout this video chirping away, or there might be the sound of Christmas beetles or cicadas in the background. My apologies, but it is so hot, I am just melting here. So first up, let me show you the gorgeous Christmas cards that I received. Incredibly special because not only is it Christmas, but also because it's my first ever Happy Mail, and I'm just so incredibly grateful. When I received these cards, I actually cried. I'm a bit of a wuss, but it actually melted my heart, so it was just so incredibly thoughtful. So Esther gave me this one, and it's got a lovely little blue handmade cutout star on it with this gorgeous glittery silver snowflake on it. Deborah gave me this one, which is hand coloured. Isn't it gorgeous? Got a little snowman on it and everything. I won't show you the messages inside. And then Gail gave me this one, and it's got Australian kookaburras on it with little Santa hats, and also incredibly gorgeous. Sandra gave me this one, which has got a cupcake on it that I desperately want to eat, and also learn how to colour the cupcake to make it look like that because it's so incredibly pretty. And Candace gave me this one, which is also coloured, and look at those sparkles. You might not see them in the film, but isn't it gorgeous? Sparkle, sparkle, sparkle. And she also gave me one so I could colour it myself. So all so beautiful, and thank you so very much. They're going on my pretty little notice board that lives in my office that you might see in some of those tours of my colouring cave where I keep all my pretty things. So thank you again. In the first video I showed you some Copic markers that I'd purchased. I can't remember what they are now, to be honest, but the other thing that I got was this hold-all or carry case type thing. It's 6 little baskety things, and it's for Spectrum Noir pens. Now, I've got 96 Spectrum Noir markers, and they are so hard to get in Australia. I really wanted the whole set because I think I might be OCD. I can't stand not to have things in a set. But anyway, because they're hard to get in Australia, and also because when you can find a source for them, they're not easy to buy. You've got to buy them one at a time. You can't buy like a little pack of the Illustrator markers. I'm not talking about the regular ones that they first came out with. I'm talking about the Illustrator ones. And when you do get them, they're of course the same price as the Copic, if not sometimes dearer. So to make up my sort of entire set of markers, I've been subsidising my Spectrum Noir ones with colours from the Copic range that I don't already have. Now, I did think I had about 20 Copics, but it turns out I have 73 Copics. So maths was never my strong point. So I got this little shelf thing. It is meant to be for Spectrum Noir markers, and it comes off in little baskets, because I was storing them sort of in a cup like that, and when I used them, of course, all the ink blobbed out in one spot and made a complete mess of my masterpiece that I was working on. Masterpiece. So lots of skin tones, because that's what I tend to use the most with the markers. I actually like using the markers just for the skin, and then using pencils for the other things, or with pencils over it, because I find with a sore wrist that pencils over markers is less painful for me. So that little set of 6 I got in Australia because, of course, it was cheaper overseas, but of course no one would deliver to Australia, which seems to be the common problem. So I can't wait until Amazon Australia gets more stock. So there's the Copics. Also got these lovely little Taki coloured pens. And they're little coloured glittery pens because it's, you know, Christmas and it's got a sparkle. So we've got green and whatnot, and they sparkle up a little bit. You might not see it under the light. And that also comes with the clear one as well. So we've got some beautiful little colours over there. Now I also got this magic watercolour eraser. Now I bought mine in the UK where it was only a few pound, but I see on Amazon US it's an unbelievable amount of money, so it might be something that you want to get from your art shop if you do watercolours. It's meant to blot out the excess water and erase it from areas, and you'll see why I purchased this later on in the video. Now the other thing I got was, a long time ago I bought the koh-i-noor coloured woodless coloured pencils. Now it doesn't look like it, but I've actually used these quite a bit. I use them on all of that Christmas Cards to Colour book, and I've used this brown one quite a lot because it's really handy for doing timber and whatnot. Got to sort of move it around to get the colour out. So see how that's, so it's tritone, so you get different colours, so depending on how you move the pencil around you can get different shades of brown. So this is super handy for things like branches and whatnot, which I've used it for before. But you've got to sort of learn where the colour is to turn it around and get it in the right spot. Now these are woodless, so they've got like a film on the outside, and that's just pure pigment all the way. So you're getting way more pigment for your money. But I did want to see what the difference was between the woodless and the regular cased tritone pencils. So of course I purchased the tritones, which are the regular pencils, so let's crack them open. They've jumbled up a bit in the shipping process, but you can see they've got a wooden case on them, and the colours in the pigment there are on the barrel. So these have got a completely different feel to them, but still the same sort of colour. And I've got to say, I think these are actually easier to deal with, even though you're getting less pigment. So it'll be interesting to test them out and see which ones I actually prefer. The other pencils I purchased were, of course, the 100 Crayolas. I bought mine in the UK, and I think, you know, not long after they were delivered, Amazon Australia opened up, and of course I could have got them here. But anyway, so I know most people don't like Crayolas, but I actually do like them. I think they're fun, and they're a pencil that you grew up with, and 100 colours for a small price. I mean, how can you refuse that? So these are all unique colours too, they're no doubles. So I'll be looking forward to trying those out. Now I did of course also purchase the koh-i-noor sharpener. Getting a real penchant for sharpeners at the moment. So I do want to see if this one compares with my favourite sharpener and how much I like that. Johanna Basford's staff sent me a set of 24 Ergosoft with Ivy and the Inky Butterfly, which was incredibly generous of them, and I actually really like them. So I went out and bought the set of 36. And the reason that I like them is because of that barrel. It's a triangular shape and it's sort of thinner barrel, which I find to be very good on my hands. Now they don't blend as well as some pencils, but they're great for smaller spaces and mandalas and this sort of thing. And unless you're into, you know, heavy layering or heavy blending, if you've got some sort of injury, you might find them very comfortable. And you can always buy a smaller set and see what you like. I really like them, but they're not, you know, huge blending pencils or huge layering pencils by any means, but they are very comfortable. Now, I was using my Prismacolors 3 or 4 days ago, and I coloured for about 2 hours. with my Prismacolors, which are very soft and very creamy, and my hand was aching for 2 days. If you've got any sort of hand injury, sort of consider the pencil barrel as well as how soft and creamy they are. So then, of course, I had to get a pencil case to put all the things in. Now, I actually ordered 2 of these from the same supplier. They fit 168 odd pencils in them, in this nice little book. But only the aqua one turned up. So the black one hasn't arrived as yet that I ordered, and neither has another part of my parcel that I also ordered as well. So as you'll hear in the video, I'm having a lot of problems with mail at the moment. Things aren't reaching me, things are being returned. I don't get it, don't understand it, haven't moved. I've still got the same postie that I've had for years. So I have no idea what's going on. But that's one of my pencil cases. The other one that I ordered is exactly the same, it's just a different colour. So the other pencils that I ordered or have received are these ones. I really don't know how to pronounce that name, but there's 72 pencils in here. And they're really well made. They've got a lovely barrel and this very handy tray lift. So it's easy to pick it up and move it out. Now there's 3 trays in here, and we've got that beautiful barrel, which is really lovely. Let's grab one. They come pre-sharpened, I haven't sharpened them. And a very elegant barrel, and plus they're a nice size as well. I find thicker pencils like my Holbens, I actually find them hard to grip for a long period of time. But, you know, everyone is different, so you've always got to find the pencil that works for you. And, of course, we need quite a lot of pencils because different paper affects how pencils are used and what sort of pencil works easier on the paper. You know, makes it easier for you to colour. But they're super bright, very bright. And they go on over each other quite easily. They're very easy to colour with, and they're not overly soft, but they're not overly hard. They're sort of in betweeners. So I look forward to playing with those. So we've got the first layer, then we've got the second layer, which is all our lovely blues, greens and purples. And then we've got our earthy tones down the bottom here, and all with that lovely handy pull-out tray. Now the other pencils were actually a gift from my beloved. He actually gave me my first set of these for my birthday a couple of years ago now, and when they went on special for the Black Friday sales, I didn't have any money left in my colouring budget, and he generously bought them for me, because even at the special price, buying them in Australia was far more expensive, and getting them on those Black Friday sales, even with the import duties and the shipping costs, far cheaper and well worth it to have a spare set. Now the other pencils that I got was not this set of Lyras. This is my very first set of Lyra pencils that I purchased when I first started getting involved in colouring. I'd had a set of pencils from the supermarket that were pretty unpleasant, and you know, what do you expect for $2, hey? So I'd asked around in the colouring book groups, and these were the ones that were recommended to me. And I went through so much angst when I purchased these. I'd never spent so much on some coloured pencils, it seemed ridiculous. So anyway, I purchased the 36 set, and it always bothered me that I never had the complete set, because I am a little bit OCD about that, and I've also dropped them on the floor. So then I purchased all the rest of them via open stock. Now if you're in Australia, there's a shop that I've got the link to down below where you can purchase them online, all the open stock, and you'll find that there's 3 extra greys. I can't remember what they're called. So instead of, there's 75 I think in the entire set. So there's 3 other greys that you can purchase via open stock. Now there is a discount available too when you purchase them. So they worked out like at $1.20 or something like that each. So quite good value there. And the Lyras create beautiful colour. And they're super easy to use, as well as that thin barrel that makes it really easy for me to hold. Might not be easy for everyone, but we've all got personal preference. Now again, you can buy these open stock, so you might have an art shop where you can purchase those and go in and try them in store. In Australia, if you have an Officeworks near you, they also have them open stock, so you can go in, try them, see if they're for you or not. And then you can either buy them there. I think they actually have discounts there if you purchase 10 at a time, or you can buy a whole set, or you can buy them online, or you can not buy them at all. And there's the rest in that colour range. So now of course I need a pencil case to put them all in, because I don't have the tin. And it's going to bother me that they're all in these little packets, and I don't have a tin to put them in. And so I think I ended up with like 3 of these little boxes here. I won't show you all of them, but I did get them all. So that was something off the list for me. So some other pencils that I purchased were these Coloursoft ones. They were on special. There's 72 in the set, and anything that says soft is always a godsend for me, because you know, I really get a lot of pain from colouring, so anything that's going to be a softer touch pencil is always a bonus. So they go on special pretty regularly. I haven't tried the Pro colours, so these are the Coloursoft, and I've only tried doing Inktense, so it'll be interesting to see what these are like and how they compare with my other pencils. Now I also bought the 120 set of Pablos. I've had these in my cart for over a year. I'd wanted them for, and it just thought that they were too expensive. Anyway, they were on special in Australia, so I got to support a local business, which is always a good thing for me, and also got to take them home. Now I was pretty unimpressed with the tray when I first took it out, because the tray is incredibly flimsy, but then I soon realised that the tray was in a lovely metal tray, so the idea is that you take the whole tray out. Now look at those beautiful colours, aren't they gorgeous? And if we just grab one of these, they're really nice to use, nice and smooth. And you can be quite light with them, and then increase your pressure. Also the thin barrel is actually easy to hold as well, so I'll be looking forward to playing with those. Now the second one has got a plastic pull-up tray, so you can hold it by that, and again that lovely metal tray. And then the third one doesn't have a metal tray. The metal tray is the sort of bottom part of the container there. So you can see we've got all our earthy style colours in there. And in between all of them, they pack them really well with those little foam protectors. And as well as those, a couple of months ago from the same shop, they were having a sale. So I bought the Caran Neocolors. Now my idea behind these was that being a crayon and water soluble, that they might ease any pain in my hands by using them. I can always use them as an underbase and then colour over them. Now these originally came in something like 128 for memory colours. Then they reduced the set down to 84. Now, I can't stand not having any of the whole range, or incomplete, so I've been sourcing all of those colours that were in the complete 128 before they changed it. And so, you know, at the moment I think I've got 20 odd colours to still find. Obviously some are harder to get than others, and you know, maybe some I will never be able to get because, you know, no one will have any stock, and I'm certainly not going to pay a fortune just to, you know, have them. But I'm always keen to get the whole of the thing. So even though that's the biggest set now, the previous biggest set did have more colours in it, which is what those open stock ones are. Okay, so as well as pencils and whatnot, I've also got some other things like the Gelato Tropicals for backgrounds, and I've been desperately wanting these Sakura glaze pens. I've had them in my cart for like a year. They give like a glossy finish to things, and unfortunately, you know, it's really difficult to get some things in Australia, or they're incredibly expensive. So I finally got them in Australia, and of course as soon as I ordered them they were out of stock. So I thought, how can I achieve that glaze effect in a different way? So I've purchased this, which is a Ranger product. It's well-known brand in the scrapbooking world, and it gives like a little glossy finish. So I've got that one to try. Then I've got this one, which is also made by Sakura, but it's not Sakura Zig as far as I can tell. It's Sakura Hobbycraft, but it also puts things with like a little glaze on it. Now I haven't been able to replicate quite that look that they've got, but it does come up with a little glaze. You do have to apply it twice to get that sort of glazy look. Now in this search for glaze, I've also bought this product, and it's called Diamond Glaze, and it does the same sort of thing. You put it over and it creates like a little glazed or polished type look. So hopefully one of those things will give me the look that I'm after with the Sakura glaze pens that I just can't get. Now this is a product called Jewel Drops, and it comes in like a little perfume shaped bottle, and you can get it in different colours, and again it produces like those cute little beads of colour. The other thing I've got in that sort of crafty type range is this new pearl pen. You can get these in different colours, and just good for adding little beads of things. So you can spread it out and have like a little metallic type finish, or put it in little blobs. That doesn't sound very good, does it? Blobs. I had hoped to do some snow pictures, so I've got myself some glitter snow to add to some pictures, and it sort of dries hard like a 3D snow. And as well as that, I've got some Faber-Castell glitter gel. Again, in my search for snow, so I can't actually get the lid off at the moment, but it produces like a glitter snow, glass bead snow. And the last in the bright and shiny are these watercolours in different shades of gold. These also come in pastels as well, and just to give that sort of gold finishes. And sometimes you're looking for different shades of gold, so, and this one's also got the silver as well. So that's it for the pencils and the knickknacks, I think. So let's get on to the books. So before I show you the books, I'll just show you the picture I'm working on in Hello Kitty. At the moment, you might have seen my review of this book. Where has it gone? There we go. So it's my cupcakes that I've been working on in that book. Now let's go to Japan, and this is a new book. You know why I bought it? It's got a bunny rabbit on the front, but it is really, really intricate. Look at that detail, and all the pictures are similar, very fine details. Need your fine liners or whatnot for that one. So super finely detailed. It's not going to be for everyone, that book. Now you'll hear a lot of me saying this got lost in the mail. So here's the first of This Got Lost in the Mail. This is the latest round mandala book. Now the real attraction with these books is the roundness The artwork is pretty well stock images as far as I can gather. No artist is ever credited to it. If you love mandalas and you really like the unusual shape, then you might like this book. It's absolutely packed full of them. Now, I haven't compared it with the other mandala books that I have, so I can't say for certain if images are replicated or not. This is a Korean colouring book. It's called The Language of Flowers, and it's got lovely coloured images. I'm not showing you all of these books, by the way. I will review all of them when I get a chance. So we've got coloured image on one side, and then the beautiful, very fine line art on the other side. So very fine and very delicate. An incredibly pretty book too. So gorgeous pictures in this book. Just very pretty, very sweet. Now this one is a drawing book. It's called Doodle Dogs and Sketchy Cats. I sent it at a shop in Sydney and it was far too expensive in store, so I bought it online, and you know, maybe one day I'll get a chance to doodle up some doggies and cats and, you know, make some cute little illustrations, because you all know how much I love cute little animals. So just a fun little drawing book. This is another book from Korea, and it's one of the Lion Friends books. Now I think this was the first Lion Friends book, and I reviewed the second one. And it's just filled with cute, sweet little images, and they're fun. You know, they're not high-end or anything like that. This is just good time colouring. And suitable for all ages too, because, you know, they're larger spaced as well. So suitable for people that don't like small fiddly bits, and also for people that like larger spaced images. So there we are, from Korea. Now this one got lost in the mail, of course, and it's just the Dutch imprint of Maria Troll's book. So if you're having problems getting that one from Sweden, there's no word on an English edition for it, as far as I know. So you can get the Dutch imprint sometimes, depending on which country you're from, at a low price. And that's a hardback book, of course. Now this one's from Korea, and it's a different sort of book. It's got coloured inspirational images, and they've got a real painterly type look to them. And then you've got the line art that's got a real hand-drawn feel to it. They're really different sorts of illustrations as well. Like, they've gone with sort of modern stuff like the McDonald's, and there's Instagram pictures, and yeah, it's sort of real pop culture and really different from the normal books that we see. This is my favourite picture in this book. It's just really gorgeous. And this one is gorgeous as well. Look at that Hello Kitty, the whole Hello Kitty stuff. Isn't it beautiful? And here's our Instagram pic. So it's a real sort of painterly look type book, and a real reflection on modern times as well. And in it there's a triple fold out poster featuring those gorgeous balloons. Now here's another that got lost in the mail and a replacement was sent. It's the second technique book from Helen Elliston, and not only does she create gorgeous colouring books, but she's also a dab hand at showing us how to colour in as well. So her first book is really good, and this one is the same. A really good book on techniques and effects. So if you want to learn more about colouring, there's that technique book. Now here's the latest from Japan. It's Disney Girls, and it's the latest Japanese colouring book based on the art, the characters of Disney. Now I have actually filmed the review for this, so you'll see that in a couple of days. And that of course is a genuine Disney book. Here's another little cutie from Japan. Features my favourite girl in the world, Alice in Wonderland. Got some coloured inspirational images, and then on single-sided paper, which is really great paper, light tooth to it. we've got the line art to colour in as well. So gorgeous book there. It's only thin, it's like a magazine style, but really, really lovely. Now, also from Japan, you might remember months and months ago I reviewed a Super Cute World by the same artist. This is her follow-up, and in this book she's gone with this really pale line art, which is quite hard to see, to be honest, especially if you have a minor visual impairment, and it might not capture very well on the camera at all, but trust me, it's there. It features some postcards at the back of the book as well. Here's another one from Korea. It's Gooly Friends. And again, I've had this book in my cart for so long, but it was never a priority purchase. You know, it's just something that when I have the funds that I'll buy it. Comes with this poster as well, which is lovely. And a great one for people of all ages to colour in. So colouring doesn't have to be high-end art all the time, you know. You can have as much fun colouring in these as you can colouring in a beautiful masterpiece. It's all about just having fun. And I love these books. I think they're so incredibly cute. And people that are able to do blending and all sorts can usually make these look absolutely gorgeous. And if you can't do those sorts of things, they look absolutely gorgeous anyway. Now here's another drawing book. It's Cattitude by Lulu Mayo, that gave us a million cats and a million dogs and a million bears, a million owls, a million. So this book, Lulu's teaching us how to draw those gorgeous little cats. So it's another little drawing doodle book, and I think it's a lot of fun. Now this is another technique book. It's called How to Colour Like an Artist, and unlike the Helen Elliston and the Jennifer Zimmerman and the Rachel Ryan art books, this is a more general type book. So we've got some coloured illustrations on glossy paper at the start of the book, and then at the end of the book we have the plain paper that we can cut out and colour. Now these are perforated as well, so there's a perforation line along there, so you can pull them out and practice what you've learned in the technique book. Now another technique book is this one, which is Everyday Watercolour, and that's the reason that I bought those sponges. So I've seen this in store in Sydney, and as it was too expensive to buy there, I bought it online. Now it goes through colour palettes and techniques, but what I really like is that they tell you about brush strokes and also about how layering up your watercolours. So it's a really interesting book, and especially if you're just getting used to watercolours. Like my experience with watercolours is just to wax something on the page and dilute it with water, so never really thought much about the technique of it. And so I think this will be a good book to browse through and, you know, learn obviously from as well. So that's Everyday Watercolour. Now let's go to Korea, and this is another fun book from Korea. It's just got cute little illustrations in it. They're a lot of fun, and like most of these books, they're suitable for all ages and all skill types. But also, if you do know advanced colouring techniques, they are great to colour. So see how this one, see how they can actually blend and shade and do all the fancy stuff, and they've got that coloured inspirational image there, and then they've got the line art there. So see how great it looks like when you do actually have those sorts of skills up your sleeve. But even if you don't and you're just colouring flat, like I often do, then it's still a great fun book. Now of course this one got lost in the mail as well, and I actually purchased this one twice. I bought it once in the Netherlands, and I bought it once from Book Depository as well, and both of them. So this is the Dutch imprint of the Croatian book Land of Dreams by Tomislav Tomic. Now, some people may find it too expensive with shipping and whatnot to get the original of this book from Croatia or from Etsy, so the Dutch imprint is a viable alternative because sometimes you can get that less, especially if you live in the UK, where it's currently at Amazon in the UK. Now, it was at Book Depository. I'm not sure if it's still there or not. There's it there and then not there and then there, so just check around. The links are below. Now, this is another one from Korea, and it's Mollang the Rabbit. It's a hardback colouring book, and it's sort of like a rabbit version of Where's Wally. At the front of the book there's all these coloured inspirational double page scenes which are just fabulous on glossy paper. Now, of course, we all know that I bought it because of the rabbit. You know, there's just no doubt about it. Mollang the Rabbit's not really popular in Australia, but I do believe it is in Korea. I could, of course, be wrong. And then we've got the line art that goes with those coloured inspirational images. And look how detailed it is. It's going to keep you busy for hours, months, days, weeks, depending on how fast you colour. But isn't it gorgeous? It's just so cute, and it's so much more me than Where's Wally. Now, this is an old book. It's from last year, but when it came out I was really sick, so I didn't buy it, as I'd already bought plenty of books that I hadn't reviewed, and to be honest I don't think I have still yet, so they're still in my stack. So I didn't buy it, and then when the Black Friday sales came on, it went on special, and hubby said to me, why don't you get it? Because he loves her artwork as well. I show him her pictures on Instagram all the time, and you know, he thinks she's a fabulous artist as well, and he often likes looking at these books that I buy and, you know, sort of ogling at them and being amazed at how talented and wonderful people are. So there we are, Pop Manga colouring book. Now, this is a new one from Japan. It's the girls colouring book, and there's a couple in this series. This is the one with the little ballerinas on the front, and it's got all different types of ballerinas in this book. They're either cartoony or they're more modern day girls, and the line art is actually quite grey. It's not dark, it's not highly visible, so if you've got a minor visual impairment it might not be for you because it's a fainter line, but it is so cute. And look at that little bunny rabbit, isn't it adorable? And we've got some detailed pictures, and of course we've got less detailed ones as well. And it is a lovely, lovely, lovely book. And we've also got some coloured printing there as well. And it's divided up into little chapters of different things. So a sweet and lovely book from Japan. Now let's go to Korea. And this is Let's Go Camping. And like the other one, I've had this in my cart forever and a day. And you know, when I had some other things I wanted to purchase, I finally looked at the old budget and I was able to get these. And you know, that's the thing with this channel. Most of my books are purchased by myself. There's only ever, you know, a handful a year that are purchased by or that are given to me by publishers or artists. I am extremely particular about the type of books that I will accept. So I finally, you know, got the pennies together to purchase Let's Go Camping, and I think it's a great little colouring book. Lots of big open spaced elements there and just a lot of fun. But you know, something about this book is the pre-printing of the different colours. So that can be a bit of a downer sometimes, and some of the artwork could have been positioned a lot better in it. Now, this is one of my favourite books from Korea. It's what I call my teddy bear book, and it's got the teddy bear on the front cover. And look at all these gorgeous coloured thumbnails from within the book. Aren't they beautiful? Now, of course, you know, there's bunny rabbits in here, so that's always going to be a selling point. Now, these are some techniques. I wish I could read what it said, but never mind. At the start, we always have the coloured inspirational image on the left, and on the right, the line art. Now the line art isn't as dark as you would hope, or maybe not, because they're trying to give out that painterly look if you look at the left side of the page, and it's in a brown ink rather than a black ink. And on these teddy bears you can sort of see the pencil strokes, and so it kind of makes you feel that you could achieve this little fuzzy teddy bear cutesy look if you're just even new to colouring, just by following the coloured inspirational image there. So we've got duckies, we've got flowers, and of course, you know, whatever is in this image is the focal point of the whole thing. So you need to add, you know, your stripes and whatnot to some of these images. And, you know, obviously, you know, some are going to be easier to do than others if you're following along on their inspirational image path. But aren't they gorgeous? It really is super pretty, and this is of course my favourite picture in the whole book. Aren't they gorgeous? So super cute teddy bear book. Now, still staying in Korea, this is Princess of the World, and it's a colouring book and a book of paper dolls. So we've got all our gorgeous princesses, double page scenes, but at the back of the book we've also got our paper dolls. So beautiful coloured paper, and it's a thick glossy paper, and on the back is a gorgeous pattern, and then we've got all these lovely paper dolls to cut out and play with. So very, very cute and very thick, you know, with our coloured images starting from here. So we've got this much paper doll and this much to colour, which, you know, I know it seems less, but really there's a lot of detail in those pictures, so they'll keep you colouring for ages. Now, staying in Korea, this one's the same thing. It's a colouring book and a paper doll book based on ballet. So at the back we've got our lovely paper dolls, and then at the front we've got our lovely coloured pages. So aren't they cute? So super cute book from Korea. Now the next thing is not a colouring book, it's a scratch book. And of course it's based on Alice in Wonderland, and it's 4 scratch cards. One is the White Rabbit, one is the Cheshire Cat, and where that grey is you scratch it off. One is the Card Soldiers, and one of course is that picture of Alice. And see how I've just nipped it with my nail and I've already scratched off some of the thing. But they do give you this little white tool here that you can do your scratching with, and one envelope, which is a bit weird because there are 4 cards. But if you want to see what they look like when they're scratched off, on the back cover there's the pictures of what they look like when you give it a bit of a scratch. Now the next one I've got is also from Japan, and it was one that I didn't have from my Disney collection, so I always like to have the whole series of things. So this is Disney Girls, and this is an older book, but as I said, I wanted to make sure I had all of them in the collection from this particular Disney series from Japan. So all our lovely Disney girls. Then this one's also from last year, and when it came out I wasn't keen on this book at all. Everyone else was, but you know, sometimes it takes me a while to warm up to a book. I never bought it because I already had heaps of books and I just didn't feel the need to buy anything else. And it wasn't until Sandra in our colouring group coloured the most beautiful picture in this book with bunny rabbits in it, of course. And this is the picture that she coloured. She coloured this one and here with the bunny rabbits, and isn't it gorgeous? It's just so cute. And until I'd seen that bunny rabbit picture, I was never keen on buying it at all. But now I see it's got quite a few bunny rabbits in it, so I'm starting to like it. And a new one, which is the Archie colouring book. And this is a real sentimental one. My stepfather always used to buy me Archie comics when I was sick to read, and you know, it was just a real sentimental thing to see the colouring book for Archie. I know in the States this was released a lot earlier, but in Australia I think it came out in December. So, lovely little Archie book. And my hubby was really looking forward to this one as well because, you know, he's sentimental on Archie as well. Used to take it away on his holidays and all those rainy days, you know, reading Archie. And, you know, he's not much of a book reader, but he loves comics. So there's Archie. And then the last one is from Japan, or second last one. And this is just like a magazine type thing. Now, when I got it, I wasn't keen on it, to be honest. I didn't like it. And it didn't cost as much as normal colouring books, so I wasn't too worried about it, because it's sort of more like a magazine type format. But it actually has grown on me, and I've got it upside down. And I actually am starting to like it now and appreciate its differences. So often it does take me a while to warm up to things, and you know, thankfully I've finally warmed up to it. Probably because I've done this video that many times that I'm starting to warm to it. Now the last one is the most important colouring book, and it's this one. So we all know what this is. It's Secret Garden. It's nothing different from what you've seen 100 million times before, but for me it is incredibly different, or incredibly important, more to the point, because Secret Garden is the book that, you know, made me start my colouring blog, made me start my YouTube channel, and got me out of a blackness that you know, I'd sunk into. So it's an incredibly special book for me. When Amazon Australia opened a few weeks ago, this was on sale for about $3 or $4, and so I purchased it because not only did I want to have a spare, but also wanted to see how Amazon Australia performed against the other Amazons that I've dealt with over the years, leaving where I started. So that's it for today. Until next time, happy colouring.